Hello, collective. So this video today is an EMF reader message transmission, and it came in 3 different parts. So um, this video, it's just going to be an informational video pretty much. And it does sound like it may be a slight add-on or a way to give you a little bit of confidence in the next phase or cycle that you might be getting into. It also sounds like it might be piggybacking off of my messages, the downloads that I got when speaking with my team. So if you are interested in the EMF reader and getting your own messages, you can download one off the Play Store. It will take a couple weeks for your energy and your team to realize that you're actively using that EMF reader before they really start tapping in. Then you will just write down the words that come through, look up the definitions, and there's your message. Okay, so this message that I got today, it says, a leader and people exist in a place where life, health, and mind matter. Humans imagine, learn, think, and feel, trying to find care, home, and meaning. In each day, society creates order, schools, tradition, and rules, but none of these are built for people to explore, learn, and understand emotions, conflicts, and responsibilities. It says there is influence, information, and power, but also problems, depression, and inner battles. People seek understanding, connection, and truth, forming relationships while facing fear, arguments, and change. Through learning, teaching, thinking, and time, individuals try to solve, heal, and move forward despite difficulties. There is hope, there is energy, and you do have the ability to choose, act, and grow. Says a map of human life, how we think, learn, struggle, feel pain, seek meaning, connect with others, face conflict, and keep going. And then it gave me topics of human development, mental and emotional awareness, social structure, inner struggle, and learning and solutions. So I think I'm going to do a separate video on these topics to give you an example on how you can get through these issues in your life, as well as break down how I did so that you can kind of get an idea of how you can start to implement it into your life for growth. But I also wanted to break down some of the words that came through. So it says the president leads people and makes decisions. Fire gives heat, but also can destroy. With the president leads people and makes decisions, this should mean that people need to be more aware of who they're going to turn into their leader, because you've got people that are following right now in society, and our society is very unhealthy. So we need to get it together on that part and be more aware and active on who we're giving that power to. Fire gives heat, but can also destroy. So yes, it's good to have that fire inside you for motivation and determination, but too much of that will destroy you. It will deplete your energy. It can turn you into someone who is overbearing and overpowerful. and ultimately destroy you. It can destroy your relationships with people or just destroy you altogether, your health. To swear is to make a serious promise. So remember, if you can't stick to your promise, if you can't keep your promise, don't do it. Every person exists in a place. So to me, this is stating that there are many of us out there that feel out of place, that feel that they don't belong, and you need to take it as an experience for you to figure out how to maneuver in environments that are uncomfortable, because at one point or another, once you accomplish that experience, you will be placed somewhere that feels like it's yours and that you do belong with the people around you. This says light allows people to see and understand. So this is the people that you would say are dark or maybe have a mental illness or whatnot. These are people that have not been shown alternate ways to be, or have not been shown alternate ways that they can be. They have not been given the opportunity to choose which way they want to be. And so when you bring light to that, it one helps them understand why they are the way they are now, but it also helps them understand that there are options. There are and is always a way out and a way to fix things. It says a patient waits and hopes to heal. So this to me is saying that while you are in your waiting stage, right, you are patiently awaiting for yourself to be acknowledged, or for your justice to come in, or for a job, employment, or whatever to acknowledge you for that raise or for that position or whatever it is that you are patiently waiting for. In that period of time, there are other things that you could be working on to put you further ahead. So you don't want to just be sitting and waiting for whatever to roll in and time still be passing you by, right? Because what if it never comes and then you're behind? So you still need to work on other things, even though you're waiting. This says people imagine things beyond what they see. To me, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, because if you can imagine it, you can make it happen. Also, imagination is one way for parents to still connect with their children. And imagination is one way for a person to be innovative. So there's very much positives. The only thing that I would say would be negative about it is this is like, in a sense, judging a book by its cover. People are imagining the type of person you are, that goes beyond what they're seeing because they haven't gotten to know you yet. They haven't had conversations with you yet. They've just had glances. So, medicine is to treat illness. So, if you're not ill, don't take medicine. And in fact, even if you are ill, some of those illnesses, you could probably do a whole lot more better for yourself the holistic way. Every action has an impact, and it does. You can determine whether that impact is going to be negative or positive. This goes back to law of attraction. Negative attracts negative, positive attracts positive. So if you want a positive impact, you must have a positive action. Alcohol can change behavior and thinking, and it can. Alcohol is also another word for spirits. So, in a sense, under the influence of alcohol, you're also allowing something else to come in and take over your thoughts and actions. People say thanks to show gratitude. From my experience in the last 5 years, thank you is overly said. So typically when you say thank you, you are wanting the person to understand that you are really appreciative. But because it is said so much and so often, many people are not getting that feeling when a thank you is said. So maybe think about switching it up and letting them know, I appreciate you, or I am so grateful for you. Try widening that vocabulary. Humans learn from experience. So this is one big thing for me. For example, I will use when I had to go to therapy. I was talking about my situation to a counselor that had never, not even been anywhere close to what I had been through. And the resources, the help, the tools were not going to help me. And so if you are looking to learn, whether that be learn how to get into a certain area of business, learn how to do certain things in life, or learn to better yourself, you need to go find somebody who has that experience who can help you. We think to make sense of life. Life is not going to make sense to anyone. And that is because there are so many different worlds within our world, right? So when someone says you create your own reality, that's because it's coming from my perception, okay? And this person next to me, they're going to create their reality in their multiverse, right? Some things are not going to make sense, and that's because we're not supposed to look at the chaotic part of it, everybody's decision making or anything. We need to find what the core purpose of your life is, and that is for you to discover who you are. That is your whole purpose. Discover who you are and how can you implement it into reality. How is our home is where safety is found. A lot of people, if I was to say, where's your home? They'd give me an address or tell me it's with my family or whatnot. This is why people have abandonment issues. This is why people have codependency issues. This is why people have emotional damage, because they're not looking inside themselves for the home. At the end of the day, you yourself are gonna die with just you yourself. You yourself is the only one. Please don't do that in the house. You yourself is the only one that is going to understand yourself, that can make you do anything, that can make you feel anything. Okay? You. So you need to be your own home. You need to learn how to comfort yourself. Please stop.
I turned it off. I had to unplug it.
You're going to be why the house catches on fire like all these videos are saying. Back when I was younger, there were research videos that say children who have to self-soothe are the ones that are being neglected. To an extent, yes, because children still need attention and love. But at the same time, the child that is young and learning how to self-soothe is most likely going to be the most successful when it comes with working through their emotions and being independent, not codependent, and not looking for anyone else to give them the pat on the back, okay? So it is not wrong or neglectful to learn how to self-soothe. And there are healthy ways to do that. Each day does bring a new chance, okay? Each day you can choose to either continue on with what you were working on from the previous day, or you can sit and say, hey, yesterday was not successful. There were plenty of signs throughout that day that lets me know that this just isn't for me. I'm not going to waste any more time on it. I'm going to sit now and come up with a new plan. So each day is your opportunity to come up with a new plan to find yourself something that works for you. Order helps control chaos, and it does, but your order needs to make sure that it is not control. Your order needs to make sure that it is beneficial for everyone around you. Your order needs to make sure that it is healthy for everyone around you. Your order needs to make sure that it is not selfish for everyone around you. A village is a small community. I agree. Only I feel like villages work better than communities do. Passion drives people forward. Passion can drive you backwards too. You look up the definition of passion, it is not a good thing. For someone to have passion for somebody, it almost always ends in an obsession or something unhealthy for that person. So passion doesn't always drive people forward. Instruction gives guidance. No. I can give you instruction, and maybe the way that I gave it to you isn't your learning style. And maybe it wasn't enough information for how you comprehend things. That means I would not have given you the correct guidance. Instruction is not guidance, okay? Instruction is a how-to, not where to, how to, why to, and what to. School is where learning begins. No. Learning begins the second you enter this world. And learning continues when you leave this world. You will forever be a student. And I'm sorry, but school does not even touch on the fundamentals that people need to be okay with themselves and to be intelligent and coherent for others, caring for others. No. It says to study is to work toward understanding. I agree with that. I do think that whatever it is you are getting into, you need to study it, you need to look into it, you need to know what it is that you're about to start before you do it. I'm a big believer on that. People argue when views differ, yes. Or when one person wants to have control over the situation or project or person. They could think alike, but one wants to be more controlling over the other. A result follows every choice. That's correct. And a country is made of many people. Yes. Blue can describe color or sadness. Touch creates connection. That connection can either be positive or negative. Energy allows action. I would say energy allows life. Direction shows where to go. Direction can show where not to go as well. Being united creates strength. No, not necessarily. I think, people can be united on a topic, right? But that doesn't necessarily create strength, because you could be united with someone who is only there to unite with you simply for social reasons. Maybe they don't have experience behind whatever it is that they're trying to stand for. So that would make that person a weak link. Some things are important to protect. Everything about you is important to protect. Your mind, body, soul, your sight, your senses, your energy, from head to toe, from a foot or two around, all the way around, up and down. Protect. People talk to communicate. No, some people just talk to talk because they like the way that they sound. Some people are that vain. Sometimes, I've sat back before and I've listened to people have these conversations, and I'm just like, what the hell is this motherfucker talking about? Like, this conversation done already went past this topic. Conversations on that topic. Why are they still talking about that? And it's because, one, they either don't have understanding of what the topic just moved to, or two, they really like the way that they sound and they want to make sure that this line that they just came up with from the last topic gets out because it sounded good. Depression can darken the mind. Yes, it can. And if you live in it, it's very hard to get out of that. You have to do a whole retraining of the mind. A hospital is a place of healing. No, not always. Every problem needs a solution. No. Some solutions are you just let the problem be. Some problems are not always a problem. Some problems are there because the person you're involved with or whatever has to learn that specific lesson. So if you're constantly trying to find a solution, some people will never learn. So no, not every problem needs a solution. Some things need to just be left alone. The brain controls thought. I would say the ego. controls the thought. Food sustains life, not just food. Water, love, touch, TLC. Someone can be given food and water, but they are not going to survive very long if they're not given love, light, and affection. Influence shapes decisions. If you do not know who you are, okay, if you do not strongly trust your own intuition and your own decision making, then yes, it is going to shape people's decisions. We think before acting. We should, but we don't. A lot of us don't. A lot of us don't think before we talk either. And I've done that so many times, I've literally put my foot in my mouth looking stupid. It took me a long time to be like, fucking shut up. Large things feel overwhelming. I don't think it's the size of something that is overwhelming. I think it is other people's input and other people's opinions and other people's say on that large thing, or other people's needs and wants that are attached to that large thing that make it overwhelming. Being ready brings confidence. It plays a part in it, yes. Learning never stops. That's what I said earlier. A promise builds trust only if the promise is kept. You can say you promise all day long. It doesn't mean there's trust. If you keep it, that builds trust. To assume is to believe without proof. Yes. Times change constantly. This is that different world, different perspective thing. So, before I started my spiritual journey, times were changing all the time. Style, music, what is in as far as like fads, the new fads, the way we talk, the way we act, things like that. When I got on this journey, I didn't care much about style anymore. It wasn't a fad that I followed at that point. I actually became a minimalist. And time didn't matter because I was running on my own time, my own pace. So if I didn't make it to something, then it wasn't meant to be. Every once in a while, I catch myself hopping in and out from my own timeline, my own path I'm on, into, the world of where everyone else is at. And that actually gives me anxiety when I'm running off of someone else's timeline, because I don't run hectic and shit anymore. So, but yeah. Summer represents warmth and growth. I believe spring and summer both represent that. Land gives people roots. If we're going to talk about physically in the real world, material world, yes, land gives people roots. If we're going to talk in the knowledge / non-physical world, I would say no. Knowledge is what gives you roots. Tradition connects generations. No. Tradition connects you to society and governmental fads, not to generations. Knowledge of who your ancestors are, what type of people they were, how they survived, the traumas and the hardships they went through and made it through, that connects generations. A man seeks purpose. I think everybody seeks purpose, not just man. I think man seeks acknowledgement, dominance, along with purpose. A class gathers learners. No, not so much. It can, but not. I'd rather learn on my own. I don't want to be in a classroom. Action turns thought into reality. That I agree with. A battle can be internal or external. That's correct. Being kind eases suffering. No, it does not ease suffering, but it does allow the person to know that they possibly have support or some type of care during their cycle of suffering. Information gives clarity. If it's correct information. An enemy creates conflict. No. I have people I don't like and I don't bother them. I don't think bad about them. I don't wish ill on them. I don't do no weird shit to them. I just don't go around them. I don't think about them. I don't deal with them. To leave is to move on. I wouldn't say that, because when you leave your house, are you moving on from your house? I would say to leave is to not be at the spot you're leaving from anymore. If you're going to move on, I would say that's elevate, or that's progress, you know. A doctor helps heal others. They can also do damage to others. Hair marks individuality. No, I don't think that. What I think marks individuality is people's souls, their character, their personality, and their thoughts, the way that their mind works. That's what, to me, marks individuality. To act is to choose. To act is to lead you to choices. I guess not to act is also a choice. Act isn't really dictating whether or not you're choosing. Says a document records truth. No. And the only reason why I know this is because working in the healthcare, and I've literally, with doctors only having 15 minutes with patients, I have seen their notes get mixed up between the patients. And obviously that wouldn't be considered truth. Something taken is no longer owned. If you didn't pay for it and you don't have a document that states you own that, then if it is taken, doesn't mean that it's no longer owned. It just means it's no longer in your possession. Good brings relief. No, good can bring happiness. Maybe slight relief. An answer resolves uncertainty. No. You can give someone an answer and they still not understand. Hard moments test strength. Yes, I believe that. A story gives meaning. No, I've listened to people tell stories and still not have a point. So no. Feelings reveal emotion. No. People can lie about what they're feeling. A daughter continues family life. I I think a male does too if he's got a wife and kids. A need demands attention. No. A need. So here's where people will get messed up. If you have a need and you're looking for someone else to fulfill that need, you have a problem. There shouldn't be anything in you that even a craving or a desire or sexual need, whatever, there shouldn't be anything in you that you yourself can't satisfy yourself. So if you're looking for others to do that for you, there's a problem. Influence can guide or control that, yes. Company unites people. I don't think so. Depression drains hope. I don't think it drains it. I think it pushes it down. I think it bullies hope, but I don't think it drains it. Horror creates fear. Yeah. Night brings darkness. No. If you are aware of what is in the night and you're knowledgeable on how to protect your area, I don't think it would bring darkness like that. Pleasure brings joy for a split second. A sense helps perceive reality. It doesn't help you perceive reality. It helps give a clue to your reality, to what's happening in your reality. Support provides stability. No. You can have support all you want, but they're not paying your bills. They're not making sure that that roof doesn't go nowhere. A friend offers trust. I have, out of my 35 years of life, never encountered a friend who I could trust. I've only had one, and that was when I was a little kid. A point clarifies meaning. No. Emotion drives behavior. I do think that. True things endure. I believe that too. I think the truth, no matter how hard the situation is, the truth will always be what makes it through, no matter what. Even like, for instance, I am dealing with my situation and I'm about to head on 4 years, and I still have faith that the truth is going to find its way out. And that's how much I believe into that. A relationship connects lives. Yeah, it can. An angel symbolizes good. No. A demon symbolizes struggle. Yeah. Being responsible means accountability. No, because someone can pay their bills, but as soon as something happens, they don't have to admit to it. So no. A shot can heal or harm. Yeah. Analyze brings understanding. I think analyzing brings an awareness. I don't think it brings understanding. To study is to seek answers. I believe that. Okay, we're on our last set. Reading expands knowledge. I think reading expands your vocabulary and knowledge. Causes explain events. No. What is taken changes ownership. Yeah, see? The heart keeps life moving. Yes. Words shape reality. I think words shape people's impressions and thoughts, not reality. An assignment, test learning. I thought test learning. An assignment helps you learn. Different ideas create contrast. They can. To see is to perceive. No. To see is to see. Your mind interprets and perceives. Both sides matter. Exact. Yes, both sides matter. An answer brings closure. No. If the emotion behind that answer is not fixed, there's no closure. Personal things are private until you're ready to share them. Yes. A child learns quickly. A child learns real quick, faster than adults do. Control creates power. It can. A teacher guides learning. They're supposed to. Relatives shares blood. No, not all relatives. And energy fuels effort. Energy should be the fuel for your effort. Okay? And then to solve is to overcome. No, to make it through. Okay? To survive is to overcome, not to solve. To survive, that's to overcome. So, life's progression. So, human development in the beginning, I said, is mental and emotional awareness, social structure, inner struggle, learning, and resolution, right? So, here, life's progression would be leadership, learning, emotion, struggle, connection, conflict, healing, understanding, growth, resolution. All right. All right, y'all. So, that is it on that video. Hopefully that brought some type of clarity or gave you some type of idea or some knowledge to whatever it is you have been contemplating or struggling with. Don't forget to check out my other videos and hit like, share, and subscribe.